tribe, how you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is Love and Marriage Huntsville season 2 episode 15. So we are still at the voter activity down to Destiny's shop, and now we have Kimmy, Melody, Kimmy, Letitia, Marceau, Maurice, and Destiny talking. And the whole thing comes up again about Ms. Wanda. Listen, I'm tired. I'm sick of it. I'm not. Letitia just don't get it, and there's at a certain point there's just nothing else you can say. It has been explained to you by Kimmy. It has been explained to you by your husband, and now Maurice tried to explain it to you, and you still just don't seem to get it. And Marceau, now you and I understand that's your wife, so you gotta have your wife's back. But now you talking like you don't understand what the problem is, and you don't understand why Kimmy feel the way she feel. Well, I mean, just because she was there uninvited don't mean you can be rude to her. Kimmy was like, I can be however I want to be. She wasn't supposed to be there. And Letitia was like, well, I just didn't think it was a problem because, I mean, we're all family. I mean, I didn't think it was an issue. She was like, if family don't know how to act, it's an issue. Then she said, well, then we got caught up on that word sanction. I ain't doing that. Then she was like, well, what was it? Shoot, now I lost my train of thought. She said, well, I just thought that, if I have something that, no, she said, so that, I mean, so now I know that if I'm invited to something, I just can't bring a +1. And Kimmy was like, well, that's normal. Like, you shouldn't feel like you should just bring somebody to, and I said that 2 weeks ago when this whole thing first came up. When somebody invites you to something, you cannot take it upon yourself that includes a +1. And if you are going to bring somebody, you should absolutely run that past the host. And I get it that is your mama, but at the end of the day, your mama is not related to Jalen at all. And it just should have been a conversation, especially, again, if nothing else, under COVID, you should just make sure that you're not bringing too many people around. It just is what it is. Letitia gets mad, ends up stomping off like a little kid, like somebody that stole her bike, child. Anyway, it was what it was. Then we have Melody down to the studio. So her brother came to see her, and he was like, I was at the voting thing, where were you? And, she says, listen, I just wasn't feeling it in my spirit. I just felt like I needed to just stay away. And, I apologize. I absolutely should have let you know I wasn't coming. And my thing is this, people act like stuff. Why is it so hard to just send a text saying, listen, I know I invited you to Destiny's event, but I ain't going? Because your brother didn't just drive down the street. He coming from Atlanta. Girl. And I mean, but you did apologize. So, okay. I'm glad you did do that. You apologized. Then he went on to talk about what happened with Martell. And here's my problem. You tried to make it seem like, well, I just want him to understand what he's doing to the kids and this, and this. And you really didn't tell that story with the same level of vitriol that how you came at Martell. Now, Melody probably still wouldn't have cared because she mad at Martell and that's her brother. But I said it last week, and I know some of y'all didn't agree with me because y'all let me know y'all didn't agree with me. But I still feel the way I feel. Yes, Martell is an asshole. Y'all know how I feel about Martell. But I also feel like in that situation, Melody's brother was wrong. Sorry. That's just not how you come at people. That's just not how you... I'm sorry, he was wrong. Anyway, I think his intentions... No, I think his intentions would have pissed him off. Anyway, moving on. Now, Letitia is out of town at an event for for school. And Ms. Wanda's at the house helping Marceau take care of the kids. Not only are there 4 kids or 3 kids there, but she done brought 2 more of the grandkids in the house. So, of course, Marceau is like, yeah, this small house is even smaller. So he tries to have a conversation with Miss Wanda, and it goes nowhere fast. I mean, he tries to talk to her about what happened down to, down to the celebration dinner and why people felt the way they felt, and the fact that what she did has caused a whole commotion. And she can't seem to understand. She was like, well, you didn't see what happened. You didn't see how Martell came up on me. Yes, you're absolutely correct. Martell was wrong for how he ran up on you, Miss Wanda. But you ran after Melody for no damn reason. Now, you weren't being messy and you weren't doing anything wrong. So, no. In all reality, what happened with Martell was not your fault. But now, when you went back to the table and got into it with Kimmy and then started trying to talk to Martell about him having a baby out here in these streets, that's on you. And Soul was just trying to get you to understand how your behavior is causing problems. And she could care less. And then she was like, and you just trying to talk down to me like you talked to Letitia, and I ain't Letitia. And he was like, so you feel like I talk down to Letitia? She was like, yeah, that's why I don't like you. Because I don't like how you talk to my daughter. And I was like, well, you can't be mad about that, Marcel. Because I'm saying she got a point. And at the end of the day, though, the conversation went nowhere. Because she didn't think she was wrong. She doesn't ever think that she's wrong, and she didn't think that her behavior was wrong. She don't like Kimmy. She think Kimmy's rude. She think you are rude. And the only person in this scenario that she don't have an issue with is her own daughter. So it really didn't go anywhere. The conversation didn't work. It just didn't. Then why he say something about her being squozed up in them leather pants? Marcel, you was wrong. You was wrong for that. You was wrong for that. Now the guys are going on this camping trip, and Kimmy ends up going with them to the sporting goods store to get what they need for the trip, to make sure that Maurice does not buy more than what Maurice needs, because Maurice tends to just see stuff and pick it up and go, ooh, I want it. And so Kimmy was like, no ma'am, we're gonna make sure that he ain't getting more than what he needs. And Martell is there, and so is Marceau. Kimmy and Martell have a conversation. He tries to make small talk with her, and then he finally just apologizes. You know, he apologizes for what happened at her son's event, and, you know, approaching Miss Wanda like that. You know, he said, I apologize. I was out of line, you know, and I apologize. And Kimmy was like, well, you know, we just got to figure it out. She said, it happened. We need to move on, and we just need to figure it out. We just need to get in a better place, because, you know, divorce is hard on everybody. Divorce is hard on the kids. It's hard on the friends, and we just need to figure it out. And so then Martell was telling her about what happened with Mel's brother rolling up on him. And he told the story pretty accurate. For Martell, he told the story pretty damn accurate. And again, you know, and Kimmy was like, wow, like, that was a lot, you know, that he would come up to you like that, you know. Then we have Maurice and Marceau talking about the 47 acres and what's going on with, you know, Martell asking him to be on the project and stuff like that. And, you know, Marceau was like, listen, at the end of the day, I know Martell. You know, we've known each other for a long time, so I got it. I still kind of got my eye on him, but I appreciate, you know, I'm leery. I'm leery about the project. But I'm damn sure not going to, you know, if it's a good opportunity, I ain't turning it down, you know. So the fellas go on this camping trip, and all of the guys get there, and Martell and Maurice are glamping, and Sadaric is there, and Sadaric is really trying to camp, right? Child, they done bought air mattresses and all kinds of stuff for one night. I could even see if they was going to be there for a couple of days. Child, they were there for one night. You could have reclined the seat in your car for one night, okay? But anyway, and so they, you know, it was cool. Now they're waiting for Marceau to show up, and Marceau finally, you know, Maurice calls him. Marceau done got into a car accident on his way down there, or it may not even be, I don't know, but he done got into a car accident. He tore up his car. Thank God he was okay. He said somebody hit him, and then he hit somebody. I've been in one of those accidents. That's not fun. So, you know, thank goodness that he's okay, and, you know, cars can be replaced, you know. What we found out later on that night around the campfire, you know, Martell finally gets real about some stuff, and he tells them, listen, the marriage is over. You know, I don't think there's no coming back from it. I don't think there's any reconciliation left in us. I just don't think there's anything more for us to talk about. And, you know, he said, I think about, you know, I wish I could have done some things differently. I think about it every day, but you can't change the past. You know, he talks about, you know, the infidelity, you know, and they said, well, you know, it wasn't just the infidelity. It was sort of how you handled it. And he was like, you're right. You know, the fact that this went on for a long period of time, with the same person. Like I know that was hurtful to Mel. Like I know it was very hurtful, you know. But Lord, then they started talking about her not giving him what he wanted sexually. Listen, I'm tired of that conversation too. Okay, so Mel wouldn't give you no head. Okay. Anyway, um, and then Sadar asked him about the rumors about her being pregnant. And he said, "Well, I know that would, you know, I know that that's not true, you know, because I know you would have told me, like, you my boy, like, I know you would have confided that in me." And he was like, "Well," he said, "Actually, Melody put that out there." And I thought he was getting ready to say Melody made it up. He said, "She's the only person that I told." So I know when it got public, I know Melody was the one that shared it. And I'm thinking, you do know there's a third person in this scenario, right? Person that's actually pregnant. You don't think she could have told nobody? She's actually the one pregnant. She can tell whoever she wants, right? And Siddharth was like, "Well, is it yours?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm pretty certain it's mine. I mean, the dates line up." So I feel like that is probably the most honest we have ever seen Martell hold. I mean, ever. And in that moment, I feel like he was really telling his friends, "I need you. Like, I need." And here's what I appreciate: they didn't judge him. They didn't tell him he messed up. They didn't say, "Oh man, Martell." They were just like, "Okay." And even Sadark even said, "Well, congratulations." I mean, because it ain't the kid's fault, you know. So, okay. Now, while all this is going on, Melody done took the kids to the pumpkin patch. They done went to an all-day event to the pumpkin patch, child. I ain't never seen the pumpkin patch take this long. They started off, it was daytime. By the time they got done, it was night. Then again, it is daylight savings. It might not have been that late. But neither here nor there. Melody had her friend, was it Irma? The lady she was going to do the play with that wrote the play that she was going to do before COVID. And she said they've actually become pretty good friends. And um, she had them come and she had her come so they could talk to the kids about just basically what was going on about the divorce. And she did a really good job talking to the kids and getting them to understand, asking them how they felt, who they wanted to live with. And the son, Martell Jr., he's very protective of his mom. He said he want to live with his mother. The oldest daughter says she wants to live with the mom. The youngest daughter, well, the next to youngest daughter said she want to live with the ice cream man. And she was talking about her dad. She was like, "Well, he." And so when the other two kids said they wanted to live with mom, she was like, "Well, he gives us ice cream." But he gives us ice cream with cookies in it. Like, she was like, maybe y'all didn't hear me say with the cookies. The cookies are in the ice cream. Um, but she was like, she doesn't like going back and forth, you know, with the houses, and that she wants them to be married again. Um, Martell was saying how he doesn't like how his dad makes his mom cry. It makes her sad. He said, you know, like you were coming over to get your clothes and daddy just started tripping. And I remember that from this summer. Y'all remember that from this summer or late fall? I mean, or early fall, where Melody actually went on social media to talk about that, about how, you know, she said, you know, about how she went to go pick up some clothes from the house and Martell wouldn't let her leave and it turned into a whole big thing. I think that's what the son was talking about. And she said, "Well, you," and Irma was like, "Well, you know what your mom needs from you when that happens? She just needs a hug." And he was like, "That's what I do. I give her a hug and I give her a kiss and I say, 'Mommy, you know, you know, I love you, Mommy.'" And she said, "Well, that's what she said. That's all Mommy needs. That's all Mommy needs." And I thought it was a really, really good conversation. I thought she did a really good job talking to the kids, and I commend Melody for finding somebody that she was comfortable with, that she felt like could talk to the kids about what they were experiencing and sort of meet them where they were. I hope this isn't a one-time shop. I hope that, you know, even if it's not a professional person, even if it's this woman who seemed to be able to talk to the kids and relate to them, and they opened up to her and they had a really good conversation. And so I got to give Melody credit for that. You know, saying, "Listen, I want to make sure that my kids are good," because divorce is hard on the kids, and I think sometimes we forget, especially when kids act like things are good. You know. Anyway, with that being said, y'all let me know what y'all think. That was it. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.